Hello everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today, we're going to dive into a heartfelt story about Huyen, little Maya, and the quiet warmth of a rainy winter day. From the bustling market to the cozy corners of their little home, we'll witness the love, care, and small acts of kindness that make a house a true home. If you enjoy this story, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you won't miss our next videos. Huyen had left early that morning for the market, her wicker basket swinging gently at her side, and the promise of returning soon to prepare lunch. But rain has a way of surprising you. The downpour came suddenly, and back at home, the wind cut sharply through the corners of the old house. Huyen stood by the window, peering out repeatedly, a mix of worry and anticipation tugging at her heart. Where could that sweet woman be? Caught somewhere in the storm. And then, just as if the universe knew she was being watched, a familiar silhouette began to emerge through the gray haze. It was an ordinary moment at first glance, yet it stopped her heart for a second, because sometimes the simple act of seeing someone return safely is the truest measure of peace. There's warmth in that, a reminder that life's real comfort is found in the people who care about us. Today, let's walk together into this little tale and feel the quiet strength of human connection, the warmth of home. In the story, Under the Rain, one particular morning begins quietly, with the gentle sound of rain falling on the old roof of Huyen's house. The heavy, steady drops set a slow, almost meditative rhythm, blending with the cold air drifting down from the distant mountains. A weak thread of sunlight fought its way through the clouds, casting a pale, delicate light across the wooden threshold, making the droplets on the windows glint ever so softly. Inside, the fire crackled warmly, mingling its scent with the faint aroma of burning wood. The cold outside was relentless, creeping through the tiniest cracks. But inside the house, another warmth lingered, the kind that comes from affection and shared peace. Huyen stood on the porch, a worn coat draped over his shoulders, eyes scanning the yard where banana leaves shivered under the wind. Rain plastered the small path that led to the garden, and a sharp gust slipped through the gaps in the wooden frame, chilling his fingers. He tugged the collar of his coat higher, casting a glance back inside. Maya, still asleep beneath a wool blanket, looked peaceful, cheeks flushed with warmth. Huyen sat beside the bed, her hair cascading gently over her shoulders, eyes soft with love and tenderness as she watched her daughter. She placed a hand on Maya's forehead, feeling the steady warmth, then lifted her gaze to Huyen. "Hey," he said softly, his voice a mix of warmth and concern. "I think we should put up an extra wall in Maya's room. With this cold weather, I'm afraid she might catch a cold. I heard her coughing a little last night, and it's been on my mind all morning." Huyen nodded, a flicker of worry passing across her face. "I thought the same. The cold seems to have come early this year. If she falls ill, it would break my heart." She stood, straightened the blanket around Maya, and headed to the kitchen. The smell of toasted rice began to fill the house, mixing with green tea and the lingering scent of wood smoke. It was a quiet symphony, the clinking of spoons against pots blending with the patter of rain. A morning in the countryside that felt both ordinary and magical. Soon, Maya stirred, rubbing her eyes, hair tousled adorably, and murmured, "Mommy, Is it raining? Huyen smiled softly. Yes, sweetheart. It's raining. Go wash your face and have breakfast. Daddy will take you to school today. Huyen stepped in, taking a small towel to gently dry her damp hair. Today, Daddy takes his princess to school, he said, his voice light and playful. But you need to hold on tight, okay? The path is slippery. Maya giggled and spread her arms wide, ready to be lifted. While father and daughter shared this playful moment, Huyen added slices of ginger to the tea, the aroma curling around the kitchen. Sweetheart, Huyen said after a sip, after I take Maya to school, can I go to the orchard? The market's busy, and I want to pick some fruit to sell. Huyen looked at him with a mix of love and worry. Let me go with you. It's raining. The road is dangerous. He smiled gently, steam rising from the tea, and shook his head. Don't worry. I'll only go a little way, near the orchard. You take Maya. I don't want her to be late. She watched silently as he folded Maya's small handkerchief with careful hands, hands that were both strong and kind, familiar with hard work. Huyen knew this was a determined man who rarely worried unnecessarily. Finally, she nodded softly. Okay, but be careful. If the rain gets worse, come inside. I'll pick you up after dropping Maya off. Huyen nodded. As the door closed behind him, Huyen paused to watch the rain, now falling harder, the sky a dull gray. Yet inside, a sense of calm lingered. No matter how fierce the wind or heavy the rain, there was a man willing to protect her, and a little girl who filled the air with laughter. True warmth didn't come from the fire. It came from these small, simple moments. A watchful eye, a steady hand, the certainty that together, no chill could last forever. Maya sat on the old wooden bench, legs swinging gently, eyes tracking Huyen's every move as he helped her put on a new coat. The winter wind whistled through the cracks, biting. Yet inside that tiny house, the warmth from his hands made everything softer. Here, put this on so you don't get cold, he said, voice low and warm, like the crackling hearth. He adjusted the sleeves and straightened the collar, and Maya looked at him with wide, trusting eyes. Then she wrapped her arms around his neck, planting a small kiss on his forehead. Uncle, it's really cold outside. Don't forget to bundle up too, she said sweetly, her voice like a little chime. Huyen froze for a moment, feeling a gentle stir in his chest. He ran a hand through her hair and smiled. I'll remember, Maya. Thank you, my child. Hand in hand, they stepped outside. The gray sky pressed down, rain pounding the already muddy earth. The motorbike creaked and splashed through puddles, its lonely rhythm lost in the storm. Maya, clutching her backpack, watched raindrops slide down the bamboo leaves along the road, cheeks pink from wind and excitement. At the school gate, Huyen stopped the bike and leaned down. Go on, your teacher is waiting. Maya's face lit up like sunlight breaking through clouds. Yes, Uncle. Good morning, Miss, she chirped, running into her classroom. Her small voice echoed briefly before fading, leaving a calm warmth in his chest. Even amid hardship, these moments made life feel worthwhile. On the ride back, rain soaked him through, but he pressed on, passing the old carpentry shop at the hill's base, familiar smells of wood, paint, and rain mingling in the air. He chose some sturdy boards, paid, and strapped them to the bike. What's all that wood for? The shopkeeper asked. A wall for Maya's room, he said simply, affection clear in his voice. Back at home, the house was quiet, the wind pressing against windows like a cold sigh. Huyen set down the boards, changed quickly, and began his work. Hammering, sawing, each motion punctuated by rain on the metal roof. Every board and nail was more than labor. It was a message of care, a gift of safety and warmth for Maya. He envisioned her snuggled beneath the blanket in her own corner, and that thought carried him through the chill. Sweat and rain mixed on his forehead, but he didn't mind. Each stroke of effort was for her, a little girl who wasn't his own, yet had captured his heart fully. When the wall was finished, he stepped back to admire it. The rain continued, relentless, and Huyen still hadn't returned. The sky remained a flat silver, and a creeping worry took root. Why hadn't she come back yet, he thought. The road is dangerous, the rain heavy. Without hesitation, Huyen pulled on his raincoat and stepped into the storm. The village road had already started to flood, puddles forming shallow lakes across the uneven ground. The rain hit him in sheets, chilling him to the bone, but he moved steadily, scanning the distance for any sign of Huyen. No one was around, just the relentless sound of rain and the sharp whistle of the wind. His mind raced. Maybe Huyen had found shelter somewhere, he thought. But even imagining her safe somewhere didn't bring peace. For the first time since they had moved into that little house together, a deep emptiness settled over him. Not because of the rain, but because the house felt incomplete without her footsteps. Her soft voice asking, "Hey, have you eaten yet?" All that remained was the ceaseless patter on the roof and his own heartbeat, quickened by worry. And then, in the distance, he saw her. A familiar silhouette emerged through the gray haze. She wore a worn conical hat, a faded brown raincoat, and carried a heavy wicker basket that swayed with each step. Her feet sank into the mud with every stride, but her gait was determined, familiar. "Huyen," Huyen whispered, his chest easing as a spark of relief warmed him. She lifted her head, rain plastering her hair to her cheeks, and offered a tired but sweet smile. "What are you doing out here? You're soaked," she asked, voice trembling slightly. "I was worried," Huyen replied, stepping closer and draping his own coat over her shoulders. "I thought you might be stuck somewhere. The road is really slippery with this rain." Huyen's lips curved faintly. "I wanted to come back earlier, but it started pouring just as I was leaving the market. Everyone was packing up, so I waited a little, hoping it would stop. But it didn't stop," Huyen said, drying her hair gently with a towel. "Come inside now. I don't want you to catch a cold." Inside the warm house, the heat of the fire spread instantly, mingling with the scent of new wood, rain, and the hot tea Huyen had prepared earlier. Huyen set her basket on the table, revealing a small treasure trove of market finds: vegetables, dried fish, and herbs still dripping wet. "I bought some for Maya's soup," she said softly, exhaustion and tenderness mingling in her tone. "She wanted the soup Mom makes." Huyen smiled, a quiet warmth filling his chest. "Next time, don't go out in this rain. If we don't have everything at home, we'll manage. The important thing is you're safe." Huyen paused, then nodded with a faint smile. "I know, but I'm used to it." At the market, someone said, "Your family must be worried with this rain." And I laughed, because I knew someone would be waiting for me at the door. Huyen's heart swelled. Was it true? Was I waiting for you? He asked softly, genuinely. Huyen turned her face away, blinking back tears, overwhelmed by the simple truth in his words. After changing into dry clothes, she noticed the new wall in Maya's room. "Did you make this?" she asked, running her hand over the smooth, freshly cut wood. "Yes. For Maya," Huyen replied. "She needs her own little corner. A warm, safe place to sleep, without shivering in the cold." Huyen watched him, her expression softening. "You always think of her first. She's lucky to have someone who loves her so much." "It's not about luck," Huyen said quietly, almost to himself. "I just want her to feel safe, something she hasn't had in a long time." His words, simple yet sincere, echoed softly in the dim light, touching a part of Huyen's heart. In him, she saw a man of few words whose kindness radiated in every action, every gesture. Just then, a cheerful sound interrupted the quiet. A bicycle bell and a child's voice shouting, "Uncle, Mom, Huyen, I'm home." Maya burst in, uniform speckled with raindrops, cheeks flushed from the cold. "Today, the teacher said, I drew nicely. I drew our house," she exclaimed. Huyen smiled, brushing wet hair from her face. "Really?" "Yes. I drew the flowers in the garden, the table Uncle made, and Mom's kitchen. Everyone said our house must be very happy." Huyen bent down, ruffling her hair affectionately. "Our house isn't just happy," he said softly. "It's warm." He leaned closer and whispered, "Tomorrow, I'll paint your little corner pink. Do you want me to?" Maya jumped up with delight. "Yes, and I want pink curtains too." The house filled with laughter, the pure, clear laughter of the little girl, the soft chuckle of her mother, and the deep, contented laugh of the man who loved them both. Outside, the rain continued to fall, gentler now, as if it too had softened in the warmth inside. Evening came quietly, bringing dinner, vegetable soup, dried fish, and steaming rice. Maya ate eagerly, recounting her school adventures, her words sparking smiles and knowing glances between Huyen and Huyen. No words were needed, just a shared understanding, a bond strengthened by the simple act of being together. Later, Huyen ran off in her small cart, the smell of fallen leaves in the air. Huyen offered her a cup of tea, voice soft. "Today I feel at peace. No matter how hard it rains, seeing you at the door makes it all worth it." Huyen handed him a cup, smiling. "Me too. With you, I have everything I need." Night fell, and the rain became a quiet murmur. Maya slept soundly in her new corner, hugging the pillow her mother had sewn. Huyen stood by the doorway, watching the patio, the overcast sky softened by the warm glow from inside. Huyen came over, placing a scarf gently around his neck. "Come in. It's cold," she said. He looked at her with affection, pausing. "I just want to stay a little longer. The rain is letting up. I'm sure the sun will come out tomorrow." She smiled, brushing back a strand of wet hair. "Yes, the sun will come out tomorrow, and we'll head back to the market." "I'll go with you," he said firmly. And in that quiet house, with rain softening into a gentle drizzle, the simple, ordinary things became extraordinary. A basket of vegetables, a patch of new wood, laughter echoing through the halls. It was in these moments, the holding of hands, the warmth of tea, the sight of someone returning safely, that they understood the true meaning of home. Because home wasn't just a roof over their heads. It was where someone waited for you, where hearts met even in the storm, and where the cold couldn't last as long as love filled the space between them. In the end, the rain outside didn't matter. Inside that little house, with Maya's laughter, Huyen's tender presence, and Juyen's steady care, there was a warmth that no winter could diminish. And as the night deepened, they all felt it. The comfort of togetherness, the safety of being cared for, and the quiet joy that comes from knowing that no matter what storms arrive, they would face them side by side. And that's where this story leaves us, not in grand gestures or heroic acts, but in the small, simple moments that define love, family, and the true meaning of home. The warmth of a glance, the safety of a hand held tight, the quiet promise of being there for each other. That is where peace lives, even under the rain. On a rainy winter day, Huyen sets out early to the market, unaware of the sudden downpour that will test her journey home. Meanwhile, Juyen stays behind, tending to little Maya and preparing for her safe return, the warmth of the home clashing with the cold outside. Through tender moments, Maya's laughter, careful hands drying wet hair, and the preparation of a cozy meal, the story captures the true meaning of love, care, and the small gestures that make a house a home. As the rain pounds relentlessly, Juyen faces his worry and takes action to protect both Huyen and Maya, showing that family is about more than blood. But just when the storm seems endless, a surprising twist awaits at the doorway, a moment that will change everything for them.